What's going on, guys? Welcome to October's episode of Game of the Month, the show where we pick a game at random every month, and at the end of the month we talk about it, except for this month you guys picked in the community pick Game of the Month. You guys voted. We eliminated all of your guys' games until we got down to the games that we played this month, which was surprisingly Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, which we did play. And then the other two games that we got as runner-ups from that elimination were Skyrim. So that's on our list. And then what was the other one that we got?
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight, yeah. Which I could play at any time, but I know you're not going to be super stoked on that. But you'll play it.
I'll give the old college try.
Yep. Before we jump into a review of Ratchet and Clank and we pick the Game of the Month for November, which will be randomly picked this time around, how you doing? And are you excited?
Doing good. I'm super excited because I'm off for 2 weeks after this week.
Very nice. You're going to play some games?
Yeah. I'm going to try to catch up on some games I've started. And hopefully beat Tactics, but that game is way bigger than I remember it being.
You'll definitely have time to do that, though.
Yeah, we'll see. Chris has been playing it for weeks, so.
Yeah, Chris does that. Chris plays games for weeks.
Yeah. But, not to get too into that topic, but that game is fantastic. If you've never played Tactics, you should definitely buy it. So.
I played it for about an hour, and I realized I don't have time for that right now because I have so many games I'm trying to play right now. But I want to go back and play it. But I can support that claim in the hour that I played that it was really neat to go back to a game like that. It still translates perfectly to nowadays in the way that it plays with a super charming art style. But the voice acting is such a cool addition. So I really want to sit down and play it. But I have like 10 games above it in my priority right now.
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty rough. I wanted to try to get through it so I can get to GOTM, but I might just have to play GOTM. It might be shorter.
I need to get back to playing that before I lose motivation to play it and start playing other games because I was playing, but that game is huge.
For sure. But otherwise, I'm pretty excited. That also will hopefully free up some time to get a head start on our mandatory games for next month as well. So
sure. Should I add GOTM to our list?
Sure.
We're going to do a real quick edit, guys. Bear with me for a second because we didn't really discuss games like we do. But that is a game I would definitely play. That's not how you spell Yote.
It's close.
Yipite. All right, so we've added Ghost of Yote to our list. Sorry for the interruption there. But that'd be convenient because that's a game I would like to play as well. So, what were we saying?
I was just saying how I was doing. I'm doing good just because I have a goal, which is vacation.
Yep.
Pretty excited for that.
I'm going to continue working and trying to shove all the games I need to play and want to play into that schedule.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal. I'm excited to be filming anything, really. We don't really film long form as much as I would like to. Hopefully we get back into that soon. I did put out a video recently, though, just for the fuck of it, of RV There Yet, which is as people call it now, a friend slop game. A co-op game that me and Josh played. I want to play more, but we played it for like 5 hours. So if you want to see a shortened version of that 5 hours, it's less than an hour. Check it out. I did a pretty substantial edit on it, and in the beginning of the video, I did some very heavy edits to cut out all the swearing that game. When me and Josh get together, it's really bad. But like that game, a lot of things happen, and I know YouTube has a lot of weird rules about swearing within the first, some odd amount.
She's a sensitive lady.
Yep. Sensitive. So's TikTok, though. But TikTok will just like straight ban you without warning you completely. So one's sensitive in a different way. The other one's sensitive in a annoying way. The other one's just like, don't fuck up. Because you'll never come back. We're going to be doing this, though. And then a reminder, we'll be doing our Plus Club at the end of this week because I want to play Alan Wake 2 with you before we film. Otherwise, we've played everything.
Yes.
So we're ready to talk about most of the games. Alan Wake 2, not so much. I've already beaten the game, though. You guys already know that. I think it was my game of the year that year. so that might give you a little hint on my thoughts on it. But I want to see what you think of it. So stay tuned for that. And if there's any videos you guys want us to react to or something like that, just let us know. And I'd be more than happy to do it, because we haven't done enough things this month. So with all that, though, we should probably get into what we do here, and that is talk about our game of the month. But before that, we have to find out what we are playing in November. For those listening or those that can't see, our Game of the Month list was getting small. It's grown again. And these are the games that we have on that list right now. That's Armored Core 6, Skyrim, which you guys picked, Tekken 8, Elden Ring. One of you guys actually picked Tekken 8. It's already on our list, so it's here. Elden Ring, Night Rain, which I still haven't played.
Same.
Yeah, and you own it. 7 Days to Die, Civilization 8. 7. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. I forgot that even existed.
I need to beat that anyway, so.
Huh?
I'm like halfway through that game. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, okay. Well, if you end up beating it, I don't know if we need to have it on the list or not. I would like to play it, though. Earth Defense Force 6, Dead by Daylight, Pokemon Infinite Fusion, Unicorn Overlord, Project Zomboid, and Ghost of Yotei just added in front of you guys.
I'm also going to throw it out there. I have played Pokemon Infinite Fusion in the last month.
Oh, really?
That is not something we'd be allowed to show on YouTube. We could talk about it, but you would not be able to have footage.
So could I just use footage of like Pokemon while we talk about it then?
That's up to Nintendo.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of worried about, but Chris picked it.
Yeah, because they don't even have like a website.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was because I was like, Nintendo doesn't even allow you to like use their likeness, let alone do whatever they're doing with that game. So once we roll that,
it would be a fun game to talk about, though. I will say that.
Yeah. We can we'll figure out something on that. So yeah, and then I didn't mention Dead by Daylight was the other game you guys voted for. I think that was Cody. So we will play at some point. All right. With all that said, though, we should probably find out what we're playing in November. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited. What games here are you hoping for in November?
So with it being such a packed time right now, I would love something that
we're at the end of the year,
not have like crazy investment to it. So like Tekken 8 would be fantastic. Oddly enough, I think 7 Days to Die would be very easy to play as well. Mm-hmm. Fantasy Life I would be easy. Earth Defense Force 6 would be super easy. Dead by Daylight would be easy. Pokemon would be easy. Everything else, Project Zomboid too. The rest of them, I think, outside of Ghost of Yotei would just be like convenient because I want to play it anyways.
Yeah.
A lot of those would take a little more investment than I think I really have time for. But I guess honestly, the only one on there that really scares me is Unicorn Overlord because I know it's a big ass game. So
yeah, I've played it a little bit, and as I played, I was like, this is a game you need to like sink time into.
Yeah.
So,
but now that I've complained about its time sink, we're gonna end up getting it. Just watch. So.
Yeah. I'm personally hoping and praying for either Ghost of Yotei or Elden Ring, Night Rain.
Yeah.
I would like to play that. I don't really have a reason to play it, though, unless I can coordinate playing that with people. It hasn't been enough time that they have the two-player mode now.
Yeah, we can actually play it now.
Yeah, that would be convenient. And it's a game I'd like to try, but I'm not like in a rush to play it because
I feel like
it's more Elden Ring. So,
and if you're watching this, Chris, you would have to deal with it, but I feel like I could buy it for him and he would play with us too. So.
Yeah. And then Ghost of Yotei, just because I'm already playing it, give me a reason to keep playing it. So, yeah, so let's spin in 3, 2, 1, and go. We are spinning. We're going to find out what we're going to play in November. I am very excited to find out, and it is slowing down and creeping towards what would be so convenient.
Perfect.
I like how we added that. And now our game of the month for November is Ghost of Yotei. I promise there's no trickery happening. No, that was literally on the fly. So, yeah, we'll be playing Ghost of Yotei.
That was quite fortuitous.
And yeah, that worked out perfectly. Ghost of Yotei in November.
Awesome.
Great.
Super excited. I love the first game. I really want to play this one.
Do you own it?
I don't, but that's fixable.
Okay. So. Great. I'm very excited about that because I've already been playing off and on. I think I have like 20 hours in the game. I have barely done anything except for explore shit. So now that I have to do it for the channel, be very easy for me to do. So, yeah, awesome. If only Legends was out, that would be. We'll revisit though. Well, we'll put it back on the list when Legends comes out because I'm for sure gonna be playing that. It's funny when Ghost of Tsushima originally came out. I played it, I liked it, I didn't beat it. Legends came out, I played the shit out of Legends. I was so addicted to it, and then I was like, I should probably beat Tsushima. I beat it, ended up loving it, but it was just funny that I didn't beat it. I was thinking like, is that going to happen again? Am I going to play Legends and then go back and go, oh, I should probably beat Yote? But yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the game that we played, and that was your guys' pick and winner of the community pick game of the month, Ratchet Clank: A Rift Apart, a game nobody could have predicted, but here we are. Yeah. We played through it. I think this game came out like 4 years ago. And
it was a almost launch title, I think, for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it was early on.
Yeah.
Still looks great, but we'll talk about that. I played it on PC. You played it on PS5, right?
Correct.
And yeah, if you didn't get a chance to play Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, you guys know what Ratchet and Clank is.
I hope so.
I'd be hard pressed to find anybody who doesn't know what that is. But basically, it's an action platformer. You play as Ratchet with the help of Clank, and then some new characters in this as well. And yeah, due to some stuff that goes awry with Dr. Nefarious and the Dimensionator, I think it's called, you get thrust into different rifts in different dimensions and time, and you go to different planets, different locations on this big, crazy, zany story. And yeah, it features all the things you expect from a Ratchet Clank game. It's got platforming. It's got a lot of bolts to collect when you break boxes. Has a shitload of weapons, all with upgrades, with an interesting system that if you circle certain parts of your skill tree, I guess, for your guns, you get more unique upgrades to that specific gun. And when I say there's a lot of guns, there's like a lot of guns in this game. Like, I beat the game and there's still guns I hadn't bought yet. Worth mentioning as well, it's got a New Game Plus. In the New Game Plus, you get not only in the original playthrough up to 5 levels per gun, it goes up to 10 levels per gun. Yep. You get Omega weapons, so there's a reason to keep playing the game. And yeah, you jump around, you fight bad guys, you fight bosses, you go through the story. There's optional stuff to do. There's an arena you can do stuff in to get more resources. And yeah, it's a AAA platformer. We both played it, and how about we start with your thoughts on Ratchet & Clank: A Rift Apart in October.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I've talked about it before on the channel, but
I think we played it. Was this on PlayStation Plus? I don't think it was.
No.
No, but we both owned it on
PlayStation. I mean, I bought it when it came out. I think you did too.
Same.
So, I mean, this game came out because they wanted to make one, obviously, but the whole thing about it was like the PS5 has this proprietary cable technology for its SSD or whatever, and so crazy load times, right?
At the time too, not in PCs, so like this was a PS5 thing.
It was a very like new proprietary thing at the time for the PlayStation. Not necessarily that the technology didn't exist, but the way it worked, is how the PlayStation worked. And so what they were trying to do was like really show off that loading time. And in this, when you jump between these different rifts and stuff like that, including even just like traversing maps and stuff like that, it's instantaneous, which I forgot about until I revisited this month. I was like, oh yeah, this was that the whole like shtick of this game was this, and it's buttery smooth. It's really nice. You already kind of brought it up. It's a very good looking game even now still.
Before we go too far, when you talk about the load time thing and all that, I actually played this on PC and I installed it on my external hard drive. It's not an SSD. And I was actually curious to see how this game plays on a hard drive. It actually played great, super smooth. There are parts where there's like portals on the map that you'll hit Q in this, but on control I don't know what it is, but you'll pull yourself to that portal, basically kind of like a zip line would work in a lot of games. That works smoothly, but the animation looks like you're going into the portal, so it's neat looking, but basically it's just moving you across the map. But at parts where you're rifting between locations, for the most part, it's pretty smooth still on a hard drive. But there was like 4 different times where I would fly into the portal, and for a brief second, my guy would be sitting there in the entrance of the portal, and
loading.
and it was pretty quick. But that was not happening on the PS5. So, but it still was completely playable. So that was nice. Yeah. It was just funny to see like, oh, you're not getting that seamlessness that you would get with
Also, because it came out later, I'm sure they optimized it for PC as well.
Oh, probably, yeah. And I could have just installed on my SSD, but I wanted to see how it would work on there.
Yeah, so visually, really nice looking game. Animations are fantastic. Ratchet Clank is definitely a like AAA platformer.
It's AAA, yeah, for sure. Very high quality.
It's a continuation of the series, though that does not mean you would have necessarily had to have played the other ones. They do a pretty good job of kind of like putting you in this story.
I don't know shit about Ratchet Clank's story, and the story is isolated. They just reference stuff in the past with like reoccurring characters and stuff.
Yeah, so it's really smartly put together that way. It's a good title to jump into if you haven't played them before. You already brought up the weapons. This is like the bread and butter of what used to be everything Insomniac made. They made Ratchet and Clank and they made Resistance, which were both very like zany weapon focused games, right? Resistance, right?
Yep.
Okay.
A game series I was never that into.
Yeah, well, I didn't really get into that one either. But I've always liked the Ratchet and Clank games, and one of the big charms of the game was the fact that it is a platformer, but it's also just a really competent third-person shooter.
Yep. Especially, dude, on mouse and keyboard, it feels fucking great.
And that's awesome to hear.
I felt like I was playing a third-person shooter. I'm like, this is awesome. Like,
well, and because he can also like maneuver while you're shooting too, so you can be in a firefight and literally be dodging bullets, which is really kind of cool. The banter between the two main characters is fantastic, and in this title they've added another character which fits in very well and also contributes to the lore of Ratchet and Clank, which is very nice. It's been like an ongoing thing for this series, and so like for them to actually like be able to address that in this game was really cool. The worlds are very neat. They're also like quite big, actually. There's a lot to explore there. There's a lot of little extra things to collect, which can be used. I can't remember what they're called, but they're these gems you get, and that's what you use to upgrade your skill trees. Which every weapon has its own skill tree.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
you have to decide where you want to spend your bolts, and then there's gold bolts you can find in secret locations and all sorts of collectibles.
Yeah, and then on top of that, there's also a bunch of armors, and most of them are cosmetic, but some of them do have set bonuses. Like I'm currently wearing one that increases the amount of bolts I find, right? Because I started New Game Plus for this month. I had previously beaten this game and platinumed it, so there wasn't really not platinumed it because I didn't do the New Game Plus stuff, but I had done everything I could in the first playthrough, and so like that probably says a lot of my opinion right there. But I've played the crap out of this game, and so like I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, and then I noticed they call it challenge mode. I found out that that's what New Game Plus is, so I went in and did that. Found out about the Omega weapons, which is very cool. You get an additional 5 levels on your weapons to level up.
I was honestly planning on beating this, which I did, and uninstalling it. Not for a negative reason. I was just like, well, I'm not, once I beat them, I'm not going to have a reason to keep playing it. But then I saw that and I was like, I kind of want to see what these weapons are like when you upgrade them more. Like, it's kind of crazy there's that much more to do.
Right. Especially because, like, there's already a ton of weapons in the game, and I didn't level all of them in the first playthrough either. So, like,
you only had 3 or 4 maxed out at the end of the game, and now there's the Omega thing.
Yeah, so it's a ton of stuff. Like, you're into grinding out, like, stuff. The game offers that, too. It has a decent story that goes through the whole game, and the whole game is completely voice acted very well. I love the characters in this series in general, but this game, they did a very good job as well. And the boss fights are super fun and engaging with a lot of like mechanics and stuff. So overall, I just absolutely like adore this game. My biggest complaint is they don't make them often enough.
Yeah, I bought this when it came out, and I was never a big Ratchet Clank guy, but of course I had a PS5. I wanted to play whatever the big AAA games were for it. it doesn't translate to me that the same people who make Spider-Man,
which is where they're locked in now. So
made this when they had already made Spider-Man. So it's nice they even got to make this, and they did a great job. I hope in between their big Marvel games that I know are going to take priority because money. I hope they make more Ratchet Clank games, because this is like not only like back when what for the fucking PS4 they made not Insomniac but what the hell is that, something Shadowfall, the hell's that game called? Not Dead Zone, Killzone. That game, a lot of people liked it. I didn't like it, but that felt like a little tech demo. Like it felt like they threw that together. This doesn't feel like that. This just feels like the next Ratchet and Clank. It's like full of content, and so I'd like to see them make more, because this is I used to not be into Ratchet and Clank because I wasn't big on platformers, and even though I appreciated the guns were like different or whatever, it didn't feel like there's much to them in terms of like leveling them up, I guess. But this like is like exactly what I want from a game like this, is like the amount of skill trees per weapon is like, there's a lot going on there. So it feels like a full-fledged game.
Yeah.
Not just like a PS5 tech demo, which it definitely was as well, because it's got to showcase that SSD tech. So
yeah, and then it also has side content too, so you don't have to like just beeline it through the story. Like there's an arena where you can like go through and try to get like the best scores through the whole thing. So I don't know. Overall, I think it's a phenomenal game. I one of the few games I sat down and I just kind of played the crap out of until I beat it, and then also did the extra stuff, which I'm kind of hard pressed to do these days because of time. So so I think that says a lot. I would say I enjoyed it. So
yeah. I played this when it came out on PS5 a little bit, but then, lost track of it and played something else. I ended up picking it up before this month because it was on sale. And I'm like, I wonder how that... It was actually after I picked up Returnal, and I was like, wow, Returnal plays great on PC. I wonder what Ratchet Clank's like. So I picked it up and played it on there, and I was like, oh, this plays great, but then I didn't continue playing it. In fact, I thought I was further into this, but I was thinking of my PS5 save. So I basically played through almost all of the game this month, and I beat it. I figured, you guys voted this the game that won. I should beat it.
Yeah.
I don't want to play it for a little bit and go, well, thanks for voting, but I barely played the game, so I beat it. And I had fun. I really enjoyed the experience. At first, it kind of reminded me of like earlier Ratchet and Clanks, where it's just like basic platforming and basic weapons that did kind of zany things. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like this is fine, whatever. But once you start getting to the point where you start unlocking more and more weapons and more things to upgrade, I started getting like more into it. I love the graphics. I think the graphics are fantastic looking. Insomniac's super talented, high quality dev. It's a cartoon looking game, but the graphics are good. The animations are fantastic. There's nothing about it that feels cheap or like subpar. There's big set pieces that are really neat. There's a good variety of like different scenarios happening, which I liked. I think if I had any complaints on the game, two of them. One is enemies get repetitive.
That's fair.
Which didn't bother me, but I feel like if I was gonna like play New Game Plus and keep playing the game, it would get annoying after a while, because you run into these robots that have the same like 3 attacks. A laser out of their chest that sweeps back and forth. They shoot missiles out at you, and then they'll jump at you and do a stomp where a wave comes out, and you fight those all the time throughout the whole story. Especially towards the end, they start throwing like 2 of them at you at a time. There's a lot of enemies that they start really repeating over and over and over again. And so I don't want to hold that too much against them, but it's something I noticed. I was like,
yeah,
I'm pretty fair-minded. I think a lot of people probably wouldn't have liked this at all. So yeah, that's a slight complaint with the game. And then even though I thought the story was serviceable and fun, and the characters were fun and voice acted great, they're fine. I think the writing sometimes was a little Blues Cluesy for me. a lot of like, well, I don't feel good about myself, and someone's like, well, you're great the way you are, and I know that's like a game for everybody,
All ages,
right?
yeah.
So like, you know, I recognize I'm almost fucking 40, so like, you know, it's not necessarily for me, but some of the writing sometimes is like pretty corny, but it's fine because I, you know, play games for the gameplay first and story like fifth. Most games stories don't do a lot for me, but it's fine and serviceable, and it was a good vessel to make you go to all these different locations, which I really enjoyed, and it's, like the variety of characters you run into too is like a lot of fun. So but yeah, variety of weapons is awesome. There's weapons I wasn't even into that I would start leveling up. I'm like, I kind of like it now. So that's cool. And then other weapons, like instantly was like, okay, this is what I'm going to use. In fact, I think it's called a shatter bomb. I use those like constantly because you throw them, they do a shitload of damage and they do splash damage. And I upgraded to the point where I had like 19 of them. So I would just lob those into crowds and kill people. I got something called a warmonger, which is a missile launcher that eventually has like a lock-on ability, or it's like heat seeks at whoever you shoot at.
Fantastic for bosses.
It does a lot of damage. I love seeing the boss health just going down, but also has a lot of splash damage. So I'd shoot that thing at groups of people. And then what was the other one? The ricochet gun we talked about a little bit already, but I think in practice it's a neat weapon, but
It's fun.
the damage output sucked,
Yeah.
specifically because it locks onto one person. You shoot them, it hits the person, you start clicking, and it starts basically smacking them around with the rounds. It's ricocheting off that one person. And which reminds me of something I want to talk about. But the person's like getting knocked around, and it's cool looking, but it takes forever because even one round doesn't kill it, dude. You got to shoot him again to kill them. But while you're focusing on one dude ricocheting off of them, the crowd's just running at you. So I'm like, I need to level this up maybe so it feels a little more worthwhile. With that said, one thing I think is really impressed with this game is even though the enemy types become repetitive, and I think this is probably the reason why, it's very impressive that there's this many weapons in this game that do this many different things, and every enemy type from small dudes to big dudes have a reaction to those weapons.
Yeah.
From the ricochet, watching like a humanoid character's head like fly around while they're getting hit with it, to bosses getting hit with an electricity weapon and getting shocked, having a shocked animation.
Yeah.
All enemies have like their own animations for all these weapons, which would have took a long time to program every single weapon and every single reaction to the different enemy types. There's a weapon that you shoot like it shoots like plants, and it like encases the enemy in plants while these like little flowers shoot water at them, do damage. Bosses even do this when you throw it. Like, it's neat that all the weapons actually affect bosses too, so none of the weapons feel useless against a boss.
Yeah. Unless they're like, flying and you can't reach them.
Sure, but it's just cool they put that amount of work into the game where it's like, yeah, that weapon does this to everybody.
Yeah.
So that's really fucking cool. And I guarantee that's why the enemy variety is not as much as it could be, is because they had to program all these animations into every single type of enemy type. So I get it. But I just really appreciate that. I was playing, I was like, that's really cool that they put that many animations. But these people make like the Spider-Man games, so I'm like, I'm not surprised. They got the resources and talent to do stuff like that. What else? All the locations super varied. A lot of cool different scenarios to go through. I always kind of appreciated when they mix things up. I think the pacing is really good. At any point where I started feeling like something was getting a little long in the location I was at, I was done.
You move on, yeah.
Yeah, they really understand. Like, you got to keep people, got to keep offering new things constantly. Their pacing is really good. Every plan doesn't feel super long. You can go do the optional stuff. You don't have to. And then even with the arena, they offer you an arena that has challenges and you get, stuff for it. That's optional. You don't have to do that, but you can. And at one point I was like, I kind of want to upgrade this thing. I should probably do the arena for a little bit. Also, cosmetics in the game. You get them from, just playing through the story, but also there'll be secret locations and stuff where you can locate helmets, chest pieces, pants, which is really cool. And the cosmetics have a good variety of
I mean,
different looks.
if you played Spider-Man as well, like again,
Yep.
like they've done
Exactly.
this before. So.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, it was really cool to revisit this game. I'm glad I actually did sit down and beat it because I enjoyed basically the whole thing, and I do kind of want to play the New Game Plus, although I have so many games to play right now. But it was nice to beat this game finally, since it's been out for like 4 years. But it's completely solid. It's an awesome game, and with that, probably should jump into recommendations. I think everybody could play this.
I do too. Because it has difficulties too. Like if you just sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to
go
hijack
ahead.
but,
Yeah.
you know, if you have someone who has like they're either young or they have like difficulties like disabilities or stuff like that. The first difficulty, you can't die.
Yeah.
So like you can just play the game. So,
They definitely are, like with this game, making sure everybody can play it.
yeah.
Which is cool because there's also harder difficulties as well. I think
Yes,
it's like
there are.
I think it's like 2 or 3 above
There's 5
normal.
difficulties total.
Yeah. Which is really cool. And then New Game Plus is supposed to be more challenging, but you can play it on those easier difficulties again. But I believe it becomes more challenging. It says.
This is just hit point scaling basically.
Yeah.
Because you have 5 more levels now on your weapons.
But this game is not hard. I played on normal, but I'm sure it does get harder on the hard difficulties. But it's definitely built for everybody. It's a platform. It's also a shooter. It's also family friendly, kid friendly. It's not something that you need to really think hard about, but it is engaging. So yeah, I think unless you just really fucking hate the idea of jumping and shooting in a game completely, I'd still say try it and see what you think. Even for somebody who's not really into platformers like me,
I'm not either.
yeah, well, like us, yeah, I enjoyed it. I there's like progression there. It's kind of deeper than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, I just think playing as a competent third-person shooter is really helpful. So
Yeah, it felt like almost Returnal Light to me. It was interesting. Yeah, so everybody, but then also a little more specific. If you're into platformers, if you're into third-person shooters, definitely give it a shot. If you're into the series, you already played it 4 years ago. And then, yeah, if you're somebody with like kids or like younger people that I don't know why I specified younger people. Those are probably kids.
those damn younger people.
You want to find something for them to play that they'll likely enjoy. I think this definitely is a good option for that. But yeah, basically, I think most people could enjoy this game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with some.
I just wish they had multiplayer.
It's funny because past ones have. So
Yeah, this would be great for multiplayer.
I think the loading thing is probably a big part of that.
Probably.
With some niche exceptions, I do think most people could find enjoyment in this game. I'd be hard pressed to find someone who just hated it.
Yeah, if you just like see the visual style, and you're like, oh, I hate the way it looks. Like, yeah, I get it, but I think you can still have fun with it. But I don't hate it, but I can see somebody looking at a cartoon-looking game and be like, oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
It's like people look at anime games and they instantly don't want to play them, which whatever, to each their own. So, yeah. So that's the recommendations. Grades. You went first, right?
I did.
Impressions. So I'm gonna give this. I feel bad giving it this, but I feel like I need to because I don't want to go too hard. I'm gonna give this a really, really, really strong A-. The reason I'm giving it an A- is because the writing was kind of corny and cheesy to me, and I did think the repetition of enemy types was a little egregious towards the end. I was like running to the same after a while, like midway through the game. I was like, man, they're using the same enemies a lot, and I already explained. I understand why, but then towards the end of the game, they're like doubling them up, tripling them up, and I'm like, man, that's like the biggest weakness of this game. But yeah, outside of that, it's a fantastic game, high quality, a lot of fun. I beat it in like 12 hours, so it's not even a game you have to put a shitload of time into, and you can replay it or take your time with it. I typically play at a faster rate than I think the average person, but yeah, really strong A-. I think it's a really fucking good game with a couple weaknesses that are completely understandable but noticeable.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's kind of what I was thinking you were going to give it anyways after hearing you talk about it. So that checks out. I'm going to give it an A. I really enjoy the series, though I do recognize that there's room for growth and improvement. It's not a perfect game. I also, you had brought up the multiplayer thing. I do think that's something they should probably bring back, because it did have, I think it was just a versus thing, but like some form of multiplayer would add some longevity to the game.
Well, imagine if you had the processing power to do it. You could have parts where you're in different locations through rifts,
Yeah.
helping each other out in different dimensions. That would have been crazy.
Right. Well, and, maybe they can do it in the future.
Yeah.
But there's also like, and maybe it's the enemy, the thing you were talking about, but there are moments where you're in combat where like it can get a little exhausting. So, and that's probably has to do with the types of enemies they're throwing at you. I wasn't paying that much attention.
Well, so
and I didn't get
freshly
this-
just beat it. So
Yeah, and I didn't get that far this month. So, but yeah, I would say though pretty easy A for me. I kind of figured that was going to be my grade anyways, and then revisiting it this month just kind of solidified it for me.
I couldn't
so.
fathom giving this game a B. It's
No,
like
it's
it's
too
just
high
like
quality.
it's just like too well made.
Yeah.
So yeah, the lowest I go is A minus.
Yeah.
So, all right, A minus. We both really liked it. Got anything else you want to say?
Make another one.
Yeah, definitely make another one. I would love to see another one. As somebody who was never a big fan of Ratchet Clank, I'd love to see another one with multiplayer. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about Ratchet Clank or Rift Apart, whether you played it recently for the channel or you played it in the past or you didn't play it. Why didn't you play it? Have we changed your mind possibly? And what do you think about the series? What do you think about possibly getting a new one? Favorite weapons in the game? I kind of went over some of mine.
I like the mushrooms.
Yeah, well, it kind of tracks for you wanting to be more defensive and send shit out against people. And what's your favorite Ratchet and Clank game? I can't answer that. Well, this one, because I, was never really into any of them. So I was appreciated them, and I was never really into them. Do you have a favorite?
I mean, it'd probably be this one only because I think if I actually did go back and play the other ones, that'd probably didn't
Feel inferior?
age quite so well. So.
Yeah. Although I feel like this formula would translate well, similar to Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah. I mean, they could also just do a remaster of the collection and bring
That'd be
that
cool.
out too. So
Yeah.
that'd be a cool way to revisit those.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, let us know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to Ratchet and Clank or Rift Apart. As always, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you, Shay, for joining me for this conversation. And thank you guys if you joined or stayed till the end of this episode. Stay tuned. We will be doing Plus Club here at the end of the week. And if you have anything you'd like us to watch, recommend something. And
Don't forget the YouTube things, like, sub, comment.
yep, all that stuff. Because YouTube hates our long form, but doesn't mind the shorts. So at least we get some views there. But we appreciate all of your guys' support regardless. Yeah, I've been Seth. This has been Chevy. Until the next episode, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.